A mother's secret, buried in Raven's shade, the twin that refused to die. Chapter 1. A gloomy beginning. In the north of England, there was a small town named Ravenshade, where the gray clouds never seemed to leave. With its misty mornings, cobblestone streets, and neighbors who always watched each other with suspicion, the town was anything but welcoming to outsiders. The Thompson family appeared ordinary from the outside. Richard, the father, worked at the town's only train station. Margaret, the mother, spent her days in the local library, and their 10-year-old daughter, Emily. Emily was different, quiet, withdrawn, and often locked in her own world. She would spend hours in her room, whispering to the darkness. Neighbors whispered among themselves, "That child isn't playing alone. She's talking to someone, but there's no one else in that house." Chapter 2. The locked room. The Thompson house had a room that was always locked. At the far end of the corridor stood an old nursery door with a heavy iron lock. Richard had forbidden Emily from ever going near it, but Emily couldn't keep her eyes away. She often touched the cold metal as if it called to her. One evening, she asked her mother, "Mom, who's inside?" Margaret rose. "No one, Emily. That room has been empty for years." Emily shook her head softly. "No, my sister's there. She talks to me." Chapter 3. Forgotten Secrets. Margaret's chest tightened, because there was something Emily was never supposed to know. 10 years earlier, at the moment of Emily's birth, there had been another child. Emily had been born with a twin, but the birth was difficult. The doctor had said one child could not survive. Richard, determined to bury the truth, told Margaret only, "You have a daughter." Margaret spent years suppressing the memory of that night, until Emily's words brought the nightmare back. Chapter 4. The Whispers. At night, Margaret began hearing whispers coming from Emily's room. When she peered through the crack of the door, she saw her daughter sitting up in bed, staring into the shadows. "I promise I won't tell anyone. Yes, I love you too, sister." One night, Margaret stormed in, her heart pounding. "Emily, who are you talking to?" Emily's eyes widened. "Mom, can't you see her? My sister's right there, sitting at the end of my bed." Chapter 5. Traces of the Past. The next day, Margaret searched Richard's study. She found an old box filled with dusty papers. Among them a birth report, and there it was in black ink. Twin birth, one infant recorded as stillborn. At the bottom of the page, scribbled in Richard's handwriting, "No one must know. I buried her. She must not return." Chapter 6. The Forbidden Room. That night, when Richard was asleep, Margaret took the key and crept to the locked door. With trembling hands, she turned the lock. The door groaned open. The nursery smelled of dust and abandonment. A broken crib stood in the center. A toy bear lay on the floor, its button eye missing. And on the walls, written in faint, childish letters, was a chilling message. "I am here." Chapter 7. Emily's Change. From that day forward, Emily was no longer the same. She laughed at night, spoke in strange voices, and sometimes stared blankly as though someone else was inside her. One evening, she looked at her mother and whispered, "Mom chose the wrong child." Chapter 8. The Town's Whispers. At the local pub, villagers whispered behind their pints, "That house is cursed. The girl's never been alone." An old woman took Margaret aside and warned her, "There is no peace in that house. Something happened there long ago, and it's not finished yet." Chapter 9. The Truth Revealed. Margaret confronted Richard at last. "Tell me the truth. There were 2 babies. What did you do?" Richard's face went pale. "Yes, there was another, but she was dying. I buried her with my own hands. I didn't want you to remember." Tears filled Margaret's eyes, but deep down she knew Emily wasn't just imagining. Chapter 10. The Unexpected End. One stormy night, Margaret woke to find Emily missing. Panic rising, she searched the house. At last, she found the forbidden nursery door open. Inside, Emily sat by the crib, smiling calmly. "Mom, I found her. I'm not alone anymore." Margaret's breath caught as she noticed Emily's voice. It wasn't just hers, it was 2 voices, speaking in unison. From the shadows, a second small hand reached out of the crib, holding Emily's. Another reached for Margaret, and on the wall, glowing in blood-red letters, words appeared. "You left me. Now it's your turn." The door slammed shut, and the house of Ravenshade fell into silence that night, forever.